Hello, so this is going to be your May general reading, so forecast for May. So I'm just going to jump straight into it and we'll see what comes up. Alright, so I feel like May is going to be an interesting one, probably very different to what we've experienced in the first few months of this year, but I do feel like May is going to be quite a significant turning point for a lot of people. Okay. Alright. Interesting. Okay, alright, so we've got the Nine of Swords, we've got the Devil, got the Six of Pentacles, and we've got the Nine of Cups. So I feel like this is kind of a progression, so moving throughout the month of May. So I feel like to start off with, so with the Nine of Swords, so I feel like coming up to the end sort of April and moving into May, there's, especially surrounding the solar eclipse in Taurus, which is on the 30th of April, I feel like there could be some big shake-ups there. So for some people it could bring quite a lot of uncomfortable feelings. I feel like if you haven't disconnected from something that you should have done, throughout the beginning of this year, if you haven't done that, then it's kind of like the solar eclipse in Taurus is the thing that's going to have pushed you out of that. So for some of you, if you've been holding on to something for a long time that you kind of know that you should have let go of, then it's like that's the point. The solar eclipse is when it boots you out because you weren't listening. So some of you may be getting that, some of you might not be, because if you've been doing the work and disconnecting from things that you know were not good for you, then it might be run a bit more smoothly on that solar eclipse. For those of you though who haven't been or disconnected from things that you know you should have disconnected from, that's where the kick up the ass is going to come in, which I think is where the Devil card comes in as well, because it's like disconnecting from toxic things in your life, or things that no longer serve you, or things that are controlling you, or things that are manipulating you in some way. Perhaps you were aware of it, perhaps you weren't aware of it. I will just pull up another card to clarify what the Devil is about. So yeah, so not being, so I've got the Two of Pentacles, so not being in balance with something. So something has been keeping your life from not being balanced. So for some of you, I feel like this could be, so relationship, disconnecting from a relationship. Money might be a big theme around this, the disconnecting as well. Perhaps you need to take a cut back in something, which might seem like a hard thing to do, because it's like, oh, with a cutback of money seems like I won't have as much money, but you need to cut that back because it's like the time is more precious than the money, if that makes sense. So there might be a thing coming up for some of you, or it could be to do with work. Perhaps you've been asked to go in a different work direction. Perhaps you haven't listened, and then now it's kind of the time where you need to find that balance within the work situation. Perhaps you want to be focusing on something else, but you haven't been because you were scared to let go of something else. But now that the chains aren't there for that addiction thing, or the thing that you're connected to, it's like you're free to find that better balance. So with the Six of Pentacles, so yeah, I think the giving time, energy and money. I'll pull a card to clarify the Six of Pentacles. So Queen of Cups. So yes, I think being more in charge of your emotions as well is going to be a big theme in May. Not giving so much out. I think perhaps some of you may realize lately that it's like you give a lot, which is fine. Like, it's nice to be able to give emotionally, but I think a lot of people have been giving emotionally too much for too long, and it's drained you. So it's like you've needed to fill your own cup, and be in touch with yourself again, because you can't give to other people if your cup is not full, because you're just going to, you know, you'll be empty and you have nothing to, and then that's when things like illnesses and things like that start coming up, because you're not taking care of yourself. So that could be a big theme, is that giving to yourself is actually just as important as giving to other people. There could be some contracts, maybe a big theme coming up in May as well. So I think, possibly contracts. So anything to do with contracts that comes up in May for you, it could come with a bit of conflict. The kind of examples that I'm getting is that it's for something good, but it could come, with some conflict from somewhere else. So to give you an example, you could be meeting someone new, but perhaps you've got an ex who's still kind of there, who's in your ear kind of thing, or something like that, and who's like, oh, who's this new person, or, and then the control might still be there, but you're wanting to move forward into something else. Or it could be, for example, you might be wanting to put money into something, but then it's not as easy, the road's not as easy to do it as, just say you buying something else, say I want to buy this and that's it, done. It's like you want to buy something, but then it comes with other kind of conflict. Maybe somebody else doesn't want you to do it, or maybe you need to, it's a bit of a struggle to get the money somehow. It's something that's good, but it could come with a bit of conflict. So that might just be something to be aware of. But ultimately, I think it's something that you should pursue, because with the Nine of Cups, it's like the card of fulfillment. So I think by the end of the month, everything will be quite settled, and the conflict won't be there. But it's like you need to work through that conflict to get to the point of being, fulfilled in that journey. All right. I think again something else to be aware of is the responsibilities. So we've got everything is fine, which is the Ten of Cups. Ten of Swords. So there could be a tendency to, in the second half of the month, take on too much. So I think with this, maybe the contract side of things, which could, maybe you're starting a new project, or you could, a new contract at work or something, or you're meeting a new person and starting, like a karmic contract or something like that. There could be a tendency to want to go get it done quite, not quickly, but I think there's lots of little details that you want to sort out, and it's not going to be that easy. So you need to you don't want to get to the point where you've done too much too soon and it's left you quite feeling like sharp pains. I feel like there could be a tendency to have sharp pain, and I'm kind of getting more the physical symptoms. Like it could be you might start to physically feel it in your body that you've done too much too soon, or if you cut like pins and needles, like I don't know why I'm getting pins and needles, or just sharp, you don't want to have a heart attack or anything like that, with sharp chest pains or something like that. Just do it slowly. I think that's the key, is just do it slowly, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine, but just don't rush. It's with plenty of time. And the Seven of Pentacles. So again, there might be something in the mix where it's like you feel like you've given it all that you can and you can't give it any more. So I think this is separate to what I've talked about, but there's something that you've watched grow, and it has come to, you don't want to leave it because you've invested so much time and money into it, and energy, but also at the same time that you've given enough to it and you can't give any more to it. So I do feel like unplug and relax. Yeah, there is something that you probably, I don't think you're going to disconnect from it this month, but I feel like you're starting to think more about something that you know you've grown it to as or taken it as far as you can. So that could be something potentially in June or July that you may start to disconnect from in those months. I don't think you're going to disconnect from it this month, but it's like the mental process of disconnecting from it, which could tie in something to do with family, like home environment, possibly money. Yeah, it's like you're reassessing. It's like there'll be something this month, particularly with money or home life, that you're starting to reassess, and you'll be quite excited about it. But at the same time, it's you also feel like you've taken something as far as it can go. Yeah. So all right. So something different, unique, foreign, renewal, different to what you had expected, and questioning what something is. Yeah. So I feel like there is going to be more towards, again, the end of the month. You need to see things from a different perspective, and I feel like, yeah, by the end of May, it's like you're moving into completely new territory. It's going to be things are going to be quite different to what they have been in April. Yeah, which will be exciting. And it's kind of things that you never would have had expected it to be like. So you may have had a fair idea of how it might work out, but it will actually start to unfold, and you'll be like, wow, this is actually really different to what I had expected it to work out like. So it will be quite an exciting energy towards the end of May. Yeah, so that's just something to keep in mind. It's that you can, try and plan something this month, and that's fine to plan, but it will, as the month goes on, it will start to emerge that, wow, this is actually quite different to what I originally thought. Yeah, and I think, again, with disconnecting from the thing that you needed to disconnect from in late April, I feel like that you had a certain idea based on that kind of world that you're in then, which was connected to that, to the thing that wasn't good for you. So once that disconnects, it's like your mind kind of switches on more, and you have more of an idea of different ideas, and it's like, well, and you could have never planned for that, because it's like you needed to let go of the old stuff and the toxic kind of thing before all these new ideas could come in. So yeah, it'll be a month of kind of definitely viewing things from different perspectives, and creating a whole new world. Like, it's not going to be here this month, but I feel like the creation in your mind, it's like, wow, this could be totally different. So then we've got inner strength. So you have great courage and kindness. You might not realize how strong and powerful you are, but there is no problem that you can't solve. The compassion you so freely give to others must also be given to yourself. Stand strong in your convictions, and if the right answer to tell someone is no. Yeah, so a lot of becoming stronger and aligning with what you feel is right for you. And I think what did I pick up from that? The compassion, yeah. I mean, the giving to others. It's like, I just feel like there's a big theme here of that you can give to others so freely, but you don't give that to yourself. So that's what I think May should be quite a self-love month, is what do you want? How does your ultimate life look? How do you want to feel when you're doing things? How do you want to feel when you're doing your job? How do you want to feel when you're, in your family life? How do you want to feel with your home and, your sanctuary, and how that looks and everything like that? It's stop placing things outside of you and, wondering what other people think, or what other people want to do. It's like, bring it back to yourself, and yeah, give the answers to yourself, and then follow through with that. Yeah. Alright, so I'll leave that there. If you would like a personal reading done by me, then you can message me at hello@staceysadler.com. I also do in-person readings. So I can do you a personal May reading, which goes into a little bit more detail of personal themes that you'll be working through in May, and it gives you a little bit more in-depth of certain themes and things that are going to come up for you in May. So yeah, I hope that helps somebody out there, and I will talk to you on the next video.